Welcome to another Thunder Update. I'm Barry Trammell, along with Thunder writer Eric Horn, and it looks like we can say goodbye to Carmelo Anthony. Various reports say that the Thunder has decided to part ways with Carmelo Anthony, but the question now, Eric, is how do you part ways with him? Will you be able to find a trade partner? Will you stretch his contract? Will you just flat buy him out? Next 7 to 10 days may bring some clarity, but what's the chances that the Thunder could actually trade Carmelo Anthony?
It's going to be difficult. You know, I mean, there aren't a lot of teams that can outright absorb $27.9 million into their cap space. So they're going to have to find a trade partner that's, willing to give up something to get Carmelo Anthony on their books. Wherever he goes, he's going to be immediately waived so he can join a team like Houston or Miami or Los Angeles, whoever wants to sign him for that minimum money. Because, frankly, he doesn't have to make a lot of salary from his next team because he's going to be making whatever either the Thunder or the team he gets traded to is paying him, the $27.9 million. So it's going to be tough to find a trade partner within the next 7 to 10 days, as ESPN is reporting. The Thunder would like to ideally have that time frame to find a trade partner for him. If that doesn't happen, then they're probably going to have to, waive and stretch his contract over the next 3 years. That could save them up to $100 million in tax.
How much is this decision by the Thunder generated by the tax, by the financial considerations, and how much of it is just the simple fact that Carmelo Anthony didn't actually fit as well as they thought, and they're okay to say goodbye from a basketball standpoint?
I think the tax situation makes it easier, but I think it's primarily based on this wasn't a good fit to begin with. The Thunder took a chance, took a gamble. It didn't work. Carmelo Anthony was a model citizen while he was here with the Thunder and throughout the season, but at the end of the season, you saw him in the exit interviews. He expressed his discontent with reprising the role that he would have had to do again if he came back. He wants to play a different way. The Thunder obviously doesn't want him to play that way. I think that they came to that agreement before he even went out and said the things he said in his exit interview. So I think that just a matter of this guy being happier, going somewhere where he can play the way he wants to play, or somewhere where he can play closer to the style he wants to play. I think that plays into it just as much as the money, but the money obviously makes it an easier situation because, look, you're not going to pay $100 million in luxury taxes for a player that doesn't want to be somewhere.
The money has sort of strapped the Thunder. They got to get this Carmelo thing rectified. Are there things the Thunder's waiting on to get Carmelo settled before they move, for instance, maybe signing somebody at the mid-level exception?
Yeah, if they can find a suitable trade partner and get that $27 million off the books, or at least a portion of it, they can get their tax down to a more manageable $45–50 million range. That's still a gargantuan tax to go into the season willing to pay. And look, they have all season to get that tax back down to a suitable number. They can trade guys into other teams' cap space to potentially lower that tax bill. But first, they have to take care of the Carmelo Anthony situation before they go and they use that mid-level exception, because if they still have Carmelo Anthony on the books and they're still paying the amount of money they're paying for him, that's going to mean big-time taxes, up to around $150 million in luxury tax. And then if you want to tack on a mid-level exception player who's going to be making $5 million a year or so, that's going to multiply your taxes even more. They've got to get Carmelo figured out first before they can add anybody else at a high price.
Well, we perhaps will know soon, perhaps within a week or two, may be the timeline for Carmelo Anthony's destination. Stay tuned for further Thunder coverage here on News OK and every day in the Oklahoman.